Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Long, here with my co-host and co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We are coming to you from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. We got a fun show lined up for you about some of the odd, sometimes strange, but ultimately wonderful Christmas traditions from around the world that you can find to hopefully inspire you to travel during the winter seasons, the holiday seasons, different parts of the world. But just be prepared. It's not like the weirdness that we have here in the U.S. They have their own versions of it.
Well, they probably don't think what they do is weird.
No. But if you look at them just in a tech standpoint, you're like, there's some kind of odd things. There are some things that are very wholesome and very, family oriented. And we'll get into a lot of those. We're picking a few places from around the world. So we're going to have fun. But first off, my first question to you, Amy, is, obviously we both grew up in the U.S. We both grew up in Texas. Are there any strange holiday or Christmas traditions that you remember having with your family?
Not necessarily strange, but my sister and I created a tradition when I was 16 and I had my own car. On Thanksgiving, we were tired of sitting at my grandma's house with all the adults talking, and we were the only two teenagers. So we told my mom we wanted to go home and put up the Christmas tree and decorate it for her. And she was totally fine with that because she had wanted us to stay there for family time, right? Yeah. But as soon as we told her we wanted to do this for her, she loved it. So that became our out every year to leave Thanksgiving family dinner early. And it is a tradition that my sister still does today. In fact, she just told me 2 days ago that her tree is out in the box, ready to go up after lunch on Thanksgiving.
So ultimately, your tradition was, we're just going to lie to the family.
No, we really did put the tree up. But our tradition was, how do we get away from our family on Thanksgiving?
Our tradition is getting away from our family as quickly as possible. Okay, that's one way to do it. I was thinking, pajamas on Christmas Eve.
Well, we did that too, but who doesn't?
Let's lie to the family. There you go. Well, you can already tell this is going to be fun. So let's start off things in Japan. Japan has a really interesting and fun Christmas tradition, especially leading up to it. And it's one that's, as far as Christmas traditions are concerned, relatively young. But it also kind of is funny because we have so many traditions here in the United States that are heavily influenced by advertising and marketing. And you'll be surprised how many of these things actually kick off because of marketing campaigns.
Right.
Japan has a obsession with celebrating Christmas with a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now, Kentucky Fried Chicken, the reason we laugh is because in the United States is a mixed bag. It is something that a lot of people do enjoy, and I have in the past enjoyed it. But there are
better chicken franchises to our personal opinion.
Yeah.
Sorry, sure. KFC.
So they get together with the family. They do KFC meals, and even like they can book their KFC meals well in advance. It comes with wine or champagne, cake. They do it. It's like a whole family feast.
Wait, so KFC is providing alcohol to these people?
I don't know if it's KFC wine.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's chicken wine, some chicken champagne on the side, but you can bundle it all together. And so people naturally ask, like, where did this come from? Why did this happen? And of course, like any fun thing that we talk about now, it happened and began in the 70s.
Because all the fun things
all
began
the
in
fun
70s.
Things in the 70s. So there's a few different stories of how this happened, or basically why this came to be. But for the most part, it's foreigners in the nation of Japan back in the 70s. Apparently, there's a story of a local KFC owner, a guy who was from Japan, owned a local KFC. He overheard a foreign guy talking about, finding chicken for Christmas because there was no turkey.
Okay.
The nation itself didn't really celebrate Christmas or anything like that. It is a Christian type holiday for the most part these days. So he couldn't find a turkey, so he was going to celebrate with some KFC, kick off some what do you call them? Ideas, those things that I'm lacking here. And there you go. KFC got wind of it. It became immensely popular. A marketing campaign went out, and basically it kind of turned into what did they translate it to? Kentucky is Christmas, or Kentucky for Christmas was the whole campaign behind it. They bombarded the country with it, and it became wildly popular, and something that still happens to this very day.
Really? So across Japan, they are ordering KFC on December 25th. And that's what they're all eating as a nation.
No.
It's fried chicken.
They pre-order KFC Christmas meals weeks in advance because of the long lines and everything, because it is so popular in the nation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job, KFC, and good job for this franchise owner overhearing this and recognizing there was a market to be capitalized on.
Yeah.
But
and if you are a foreigner and you go over there for Christmas, now some of our past guests on the show have told us about different traditions and things in Japan. So while it may not look exactly like the Christmas here in the U.S., again, because it is a largely Christian-based thing, and I think the population percentage of people that celebrate Christianity in Japan is very, very low. So it may not have all of those reflections, but it's still about getting with family and friends, breaking open a bucket of KFC, and just, enjoying the holiday.
So they don't necessarily do like the nativity part of Christmas, but the holiday lights and things which, in the bigger city, they have a lot of lights anyway. So that would be pretty neat to go over there and see how they do holiday lights on top of their regular city lights.
I think a lot of the places we're going to look at today, they probably do the lights and things, the other more religious aspects of it, probably not, unless they do have that. I think some of these countries have a Catholic background or different things. So they may not have the nativity, or the nativity, you will find out, as we see it.
Right.
But they do have their own little spins. So when you go to, when you're planning your trip to Tokyo or Osaka around these holiday seasons, you'll notice. You go into, we saw how very few and far between like actual U.S.-based chains are there. We saw that firsthand. Yeah,
I was just thinking, I don't recall seeing KFC when we were in Japan. We did see a few other chains. McDonald's is everywhere. So we did see McDonald's in every city, and a few other American-based fast food chains. But I don't remember seeing KFC.
Yeah, I think we went to a grand opening of a Wendy's.
We did go to a grand opening of a Wendy's.
We were just like, wow. Okay.
We were just trying to feed our kids.
Yeah. I don't remember seeing KFC, which I guess is why they have to pre-order it so far in advance as well, because there's not that many. There's one, 3 minutes away from our house right here that I wouldn't set on fire.
That's kind of mean.
I wouldn't set on fire. Oh my God.
But where we grew up, there was a KFC, and I do remember eating there all the time as a kid. And that was the place to get chicken when we were kids.
Really?
And then it closed down for whatever reason. And I don't remember a KFC reopening in the area. So I didn't have KFC again until we moved here. And there was that one not too far from us.
Well, you just added to the list. Again, if you're going around festival time, holiday season, there are all kinds of winter festivals. Sapporo has their snow festival, different ice sculptures and snow activities and different things like that. But just if you're going to celebrate, you're going to eat, and you're thinking, hey, I want turkey. Turkey might be hard to come by. So you'll want to pre-order that KFC meal well in advance. You don't want to be left out in the cold, right? Because there's nothing worse than cold KFC. Or even warm KFC, at that matter. This is the Unscaled Travel Show. We're looking at some odd, some strange, but ultimately wonderful Christmas traditions from around the world. Keep it right here. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long here with my co-host, Amy.
Hi.
We are talking about some weird and fantastic Christmas traditions from around the world. Weird is subjective. I know that. So don't send hate mail to me.
But when we say weird, thinking about it, like, why in the U.S. do we say that, like, you'll get a lump of coal? Like, where did that come from? And I don't expect you to have an answer. Maybe you do. But, like, that's kind of weird.
Some of these in like Eastern Europe and Europe, where a lot of people that formed the foundation of our population here in the United States, they brought their traditions over. So it's like a blend of, and you'll see later on the show, it's a blend of holiday traditions, but most of it involves rewarding good children and punishing bad children.
Right.
Which is kind of the subject of our next one. We turn our attention from Japan to Iceland. Iceland has mischievous Yule lads and a giant Christmas cat. And it sounds strange to us because it's not ours. But of course, you know, most of ours talk about floating baby Jesus in the sky.
That's not quite how it goes, but yeah, I see your point.
That's the abridged version. But, you know, so, I mean, there's weird different things about it. So let's talk about these Yule lads and this Christmas cat that gobbles up things, okay? So the Yule lads originate from a branch of the Icelandic folklore. They're sons of these two fearsome trolls. Each of them are troublemakers who stole from and harassed the population. But over time, in modern times, they've become more benevolent. Okay. They become a little bit nicer.
So the sons of trolls do horrible things to people, but now they're beloved holiday traditions.
Yeah, they've softened their image just a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. We're done trying to give our kids PTSD, or at least we're on our way.
At least in Iceland.
Yeah. So each Yule lad has a specific quirk, like a specific thing they do. So one of them, these are kind of creepier, but one of them, I don't know how to do the names of what these things are called. So I'm not even going to try because I hate getting those emails from people. But one of them is basically called the window peeper.
Okay.
The window peeper peeps. He looks through windows in search of things to steal or take. We have a problem with that in certain areas of our city here in Vegas. We don't reward these people, though. There's also one who harasses sheep.
He harasses sheep?
He harasses sheep. We have a problem with different people doing that as well. It's been a real issue in some parts of...
These are a real mischievous troublemaker.
These are something.
One is okay, so the one who peeps through windows, is he actually stealing things or he's just looking for things to steal?
Like if you leave stuff out.
He's going to take it?
I guess.
And then the other one's just going to go mess with your sheep? So if you don't have any sheep or you don't have anything to steal, you're okay, right?
I imagine without deep research on a lot of these, but I imagine it would be like, you know, country folk back in the day. You didn't want your sheep getting all riled up, especially like at night, or if you're putting them out to pasture or something like that. They can be rambunctious, hard-headed. I imagine. I've never done anything. Look, you can't prove I've done anything with sheep. So, you know, it's much less harass them. But anyway, so, you know, it can be a problem to people. And it's a reward for bad behavior or if you've been good. So,
okay.
The Christmas cat. The Christmas cat is said to eat those who didn't receive new clothes before Christmas Eve. It's a tale used to motivate workers to finish processing the autumn wool. So again, kind of goes back to sheep. But the Christmas cat, now that's like the beginnings of it. It's now more a benevolent thing because you just saw somewhere that they built a...
I did. I was just reading because I had never heard this, but it says in 2018, the city of, you say it, I can't say, the capital of Iceland.
Oh, Reykjavik?
Yes, the city of Reykjavik set up a 5-meter tall iron sculpture of the Yule Cat in the middle of the city square as their holiday decoration, the city's holiday decoration. So now this is like a thing. Like they are all in on the giant holiday cat. And just this past Christmas in December, they released a film about the Yule Cat. And I guess I can't say the name of it. It's a lot of letters with accent marks that I've never seen before. But yeah, talking about the tradition of the Yule Cat. So maybe we need to watch this, but it seems this one does seem a little odd to me. There's a giant cat that eats people who don't get new clothes.
So is it really weird? I mean, we can't keep our cat out of our Christmas tree. She is the destroyer of everything joyous.
It seems to me that this is when like, okay, so just go buy new clothes and the cat won't eat you. Is that the thing? Or was this more about, you said the workers?
Yeah, getting
to finish.
Getting
so
the work
instead
done.
of rewarding your workers for,
it was good motivation. Maybe something leading up to that. But for nights now, caveat is like in different parts of every nation, they're going to celebrate things just a little bit different. They're going to have their own traditions on the traditions, right? So for a few nights leading up to Christmas, in some areas, children would leave their shoes by the window to receive either small gifts or rotten fruit, coal, whatever, depending on their behavior. So where we would say, hey, where does coal come from? Coal in your stocking, right? They would sometimes get rotten potatoes. Like, can you imagine? Hey, Billy, you know what? That little guy's been a jerk
I'm
this
sure
year.
Billy knows he's bad. Just don't even bother to put your shoes out. Because
yeah.
who wants their shoes to smell like rotten potato?
Yeah, are you just guessing? Are you guessing that stupid cat didn't, or the peeping guy didn't stare through the window at you when you were being bad?
I love it.
I don't know.
I think I'm here for the Christmas cat, though.
I
don't get it, but I want to see it.
This is something I want to explore further. This seems like right up my alley and things I want to do. Or I just want to give people rotten potatoes. I think that's also another thing that I might want to do. So while you're there, if you plan to go to Iceland, of course, the Christmas markets. Christmas markets filled with local vendors, handcrafted gifts, traditional foods that you can buy and walk around. Oftentimes, the Iceland Christmas markets are listed amongst the largest travel publishers out there as some of the best in the world. Mm-hmm. You need to go experience it once. It is high on our list to go do, but also like during certain periods of time, the Northern Lights, you get to chase them around. And, you know, if you can time it all perfectly and have one of those winter escapes where you can be a part of the Christmas tradition there, while getting to experience the Northern Lights, while getting to experience the Christmas markets, I think that would make for a pretty good holiday escape.
As long as you have new clothes so the cat doesn't eat you.
You are hung up on this cat eating.
It seems like a scary tradition, but they have embraced it. Like they are loving this cat. They have a huge statue of it in the middle of the city. Mm-hmm. So I guess everybody gets new clothes in December.
Yeah.
I mean, I like new clothes. I'm all for that.
I mean, we had a tradition where we only got socks and underwear once a year, apparently. You know,
we have made that a family tradition where we gift our kids socks and underwear for Christmas, which I'm sure other people think is weird. But like, hey, this just ensures they have fresh ones leading into the new year.
There you go. Keep it right here. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
Coming to you from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Remember, for all of our past episodes and interviews, check us out, unscaledtravelshow.com. Got a lot of great stuff on there. And thank you so much to everyone who finds us after we air these shows. We upload them to different podcasting platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. We appreciate it. So we're talking about some wonderfully strange Christmas traditions from around the world. Strange to us being American, okay,
Right.
being from the United States. So normal for everyone else, I guess. Let's shift now to Austria. Austria's version, when we talk about Christmas, St. Nicholas, their anti-hero, I guess now, is Krampus. Krampus has actually gained a lot of traction around the world, at least in part, due to people who like to do the opposite of Christmas. You know, there's people out there, and especially things like Hollywood. Hollywood has helped make tons of movies every single year, and stories and folklore and all kinds of stuff kind of built upon itself. So the story of Krampus and different versions of it is actually kind of spread.
Right.
Were you ever, I guess threatened is probably not the word, but were you ever threatened with any kind of like, hey, if you don't, we have our own with St. Nicholas, like, don't.
He's not going to bring you any presents.
Yeah, Santa Claus ain't going to bring you nothing, man. But were you ever told like, hey, something like a Krampus is going to come down the chimney and eat your feet? I don't know what it does. What does it do?
Oh, you don't know what it does? It's kind of terrifying, actually. Krampus is a horned goat-like figure with a long tongue and claws who punishes children for misbehaving. It either, depending on which folklore you adhere to, it either beats naughty children with birch rods, or it abducts them, carries them away in a sack. So it's terrifying.
Yeah.
I first started hearing of Krampus, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, and it was through a TV show, and I thought it was a made-up thing. I had no idea this was actually something that is celebrated, the right word? I don't know. Like, this is part of Christmas tradition in Austria, and it's a little fascinating to me that they would have this thing, because they have what's actually called Krampus Night. It's a whole night where he's supposed to come and like take the bad children away or beat them with a stick.
Now look, if you've ever gone to Walmart, there are some children in there that need to be.
He could just hang out
allegedly.
in Walmart, right?
Yeah, he could. I mean, he could meet his quota. Probably a day. He can meet his quota of some of these kids in Walmart. Anyway, so the tradition has its roots in pre-Christian, what they call pagan rituals and different folklore and things. Sometimes with the winter solstice and, just that kind of whole thing. But is it December 5th? Early in December, Krampus Night is happening. Super popular. People dress up. They parade and, have parades in different towns. And I know Krampus isn't just confined to Austria. It is kind of spread around that whole region. So it's not just that area. And again, everywhere has its own little spin, own little traditions on top of traditions and everything. So I think it's really fun to have something like that to just scare the living daylights. Can you imagine being 6 and hearing that? Because you believe anything back then.
Right.
Kids are dumb.
Well, if you read about it, it says on December 5th is when Krampus supposedly does his thing. He either swats the bad children or he takes them away. And then December 6th is St. Nicholas Day. That's the day that the good children receive their gifts. So it's like, okay, we're going to have this terrifying thing one night, but if you're still here and you didn't get beaten with the switch, then yay, you get a gift.
They should at least put a day between them, right? The day between it should be search and rescue day for the kids that get carried off in a sack, because
it never says what happens to them.
Pulling your sister's hair and being a general terror isn't reason, I don't think anymore, to be carried off in a sack to fates unknown.
By a goat-like figure with a long tongue and claws. If you Google it and you see the pictures of the mask that people wear, it is truly terrifying. It's almost like a Halloween-esque night, the evening before what we call Christmas.
Yeah. It's like the purge. And the next day is the Christmas spirits and miracle. Right. In different cities around Austria, they organize Krampus runs, I guess, where people get dressed up like Krampus and run through the street. which makes sense because in lots...
are they running from Krampus, or they are Krampus running after the people?
Here in the U.S., people have... I mean, there are all kinds of Santa runs. People
Right.
dress up like Santa and run through the street like lunatics, I guess. I don't know. But you can also... Austria, again, another country wonderfully, enchanted with Christmas time, Christmas markets. And you can go check out everything, roasted chestnuts and all of that. All that came from real areas like Austria. So the Austrian Alps and different traditions like that. Just a lot of festivities around such. I just want to go back to this beating kids with tree branches.
No, I'm reading about a Krampus run, and it says that people do dress up as Krampus, and they run playfully scaring onlookers. So people willingly go stand along this route that people are running wearing this terrifying goat mask, knowing that the goat people are going to try to scare them.
The goat people. This is, I think this is another one that if we start doing some real deep dives into it, I think I could get behind.
You probably could.
Yeah. I like dressing up. I like new traditions, and I hate children.
You don't hate all children. You hate naughty,
no. As I've gotten older,
children.
As I've gotten older, even the nice ones, I'd beat them with a birch
stick.
Birch stick.
Did anybody ever tell you, like, go get a switch so that they can spank you?
Yeah,
I mean, that's basically what they're doing. But yeah, I remember my grandma saying it a couple of times, and I had no idea what she was talking about because my mom didn't do that. But my grandma was like, go get yourself a switch.
Uh-huh. And you try to pick the thin one because you thought that was going to save you?
Oh, bad mistake.
And because you didn't know physics. They hadn't taught you physics yet. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. We're having fun talking about some wonderful and a little bit odd Christmas traditions around the world. And we have made stops in Japan, Iceland, Austria. Now let's talk about Venezuela. But before we went to break, you were talking about having to do that old tradition of having to go pick a switch off a tree. Back when you could actually kind of whoop your child. I'm on neither side of this argument. You know, some people see it as not friendly. Some people see it as a foundation for childhood, but you had to do that once?
So let me,
like perfect.
let me
you
clarify.
Never get in trouble.
I was not in trouble. My grandma was telling me how she used to make my mom and my aunts and uncles go get a switch off a bush so
that
she
makes
could
more
spank
sense.
them. And I had no idea what she was talking about. So she took me outside to the bush that she made them break their switches from. And she showed me how it worked. Like, she was like, oh yeah, they would always want the little ones because they thought it wouldn't hurt as much. And she broke off a little one and she like swished it through the air and you could hear it. And she's, and as a kid, I'm like, I had no idea what's going on. But my grandma seemed cool. She's like, swashbuckling in the air like a pirate. and then I realized, like, this is how she spanked them. I was a little terrified. So yeah, I did not get hit with the switch, but it was explained to me. And after it was explained to me, I made sure I was never I never needed a switch.
That is terrifying. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I mean, it's not, but it is a little bit. That so many of us just got beat.
My aunts and uncles and mom were probably those bad children that Krampus would have taken away. She didn't have a Krampus, but she had switches. So.
That is, I don't know. I think I'd rather be taken away in a sec. You just take me. I'll start a new life with you, Krampus. Me and you on the road. Krampus and old germ.
You're his apprentice.
Yeah, I would. Just throwing rotten potatoes at people. Anyway, Because I had to pick my own switches a number of times because I was a bad child. And I'm going to say right now, I deserved every one I got. Anyway, let's talk about Venezuela. Venezuela is one of actually a few different countries who celebrate a tradition that all involves roller skating to church. Roller skating. You remember roller skating, right?
I do remember roller skating. Did it quite a bit in the 80s. Mm-hmm. I was never very good at it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to roller skate down the street, though.
For many years, roller skating was probably the most popular pastime with younger kids that haven't been able to drive a car yet. So, I mean, roller skating, I remember us doing it when we were young, like you said. At one time, there were thousands and thousands of roller skating rinks all across America. And at that same time, we had a lot better, I guess, international relations with countries like Venezuela. So what we did in the U.S. kind of went to different countries as well, one of them being here. They also do versions of this in different countries, such as like Puerto Rico and different places like that. So, but looking at Venezuela, so this tradition, and I would totally mess up this name. So I'm sorry. It's a tradition. It's Misa de Inguanido. I'm sorry. I totally messed that up. Anyway.
Please no hate mail. Please.
Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so white. So it involves early morning Christmas masses before people head off to work. The early morning Christmas masses began with, like most things, the farmers. The farmers had things to do, but they still wanted to observe and celebrate Christmas Mass. And so for days in advance of Christmas, they would have before sunrise masses and people would gather to them. Over time, no one knows exactly where it started from, but it became more of a family thing, a neighborhood thing, depending on what part of Venezuela or these different countries that you grew up in, to basically spend the nights before with your family, roller skating and singing their traditional Christmas carols. It wouldn't be Christmas carols that we would find here in the U.S. Mm-hmm. It would be their traditional Christmas carols and festive activities, stuff for the whole family. So you wouldn't see like alcoholic beverages involved or anything like that, but it would be chocolates and juices and different things of that nature. And it was really just a time to hang out with your family, spend all night doing these wonderful activities, and then you would just keep on doing it and roller skate down the street to church, where I would imagine you would take off your roller skates before you went into the church.
That was question number one.
To Mass. But it got so popular that even these days they close down the streets until early in the morning, so to accommodate all the skaters that are coming to and from church to do their thing.
So the whole family is in roller skates.
The whole family.
Like even you would be in roller skates.
I would be in roller skates. Grandmama would be in roller skates. Yeah, all of us.
Can you imagine the first year that roller skates were imported? Mm-hmm. Because I don't know if you recall falling wearing roller skates, but they're not easy if you're not skilled in it. But imagine the first year that roller skates were there and they decided they were going to roller skate to the church. How many people do you think
it's good.
fell over?
It's a good thing you were heading to church. Somebody could pray over you. Those ouchies and boo-boos that you would get or whatever you would call it. But yeah. So it became one of those things where it started in neighborhoods and capital cities and just spread out from there. And now
I would love to see it.
Entire cities like just organize events around this activity.
It's a roller skating parade to church.
How cool, though.
I would love to see it.
I would love to just at least
organized roller skating. Like this sounds pretty interesting. Yeah. And maybe it's because we are kids of the 80s and that's like our youth. But I want to see an entire town roller skating to church. Because
it's not just like we're going to go out for a couple hours and then we're going to go to bed and then we're going to do Mass. No, it's like you go all night. It's like an all night party. And some of them, they only do it on certain days. And in some neighborhoods and everything, they do it for multiple days leading up to Christmas. So you go to Mass, you go to bed, get some food, tamales, hot chocolate, different things like that.
We need to do this. Why is this not our Christmas tradition? Why? I don't necessarily need a roller skate to church, but let's just get some roller skates and go around our neighborhood.
Dancing, socializing, street music, have
Tamales,
all of it.
yes.
Tamales. I know you had me at tamales, right? Tamales and roller skating. Just be like,
Love it.
Or that movie City of Angels with Meg Ryan and just floating down the street like that. Like I would totally do that. And then promptly get hit by a garbage truck. This is the Unscaled Travel Show. Keep it right here. Right? Christmas around the world. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We are coming to you from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. Thank you so much always to Trent and Lisa Keenan, owners of Diamondback Land Surveying, for helping us keep this thing on the air for you. We do this for you. We're talking about Christmas traditions. That's a hard word to say. Christmas traditions from around the world. We have some strange ones here in the U.S. Oh, Kris Kringle. It's normal to us. But some people from the outside, they'd be like, what? What does this guy do? How does a man that's supposed to be fat and jolly squeeze down a chimney? And what if you don't have a chimney?
Right.
Does he break in through the window?
Like flying reindeers?
Does
it really doesn't make sense.
Does he have an Amazon key code to your garage? Like, what happens here? We are going to turn our attention to, because we just talked about Venezuela. Now we're going to talk about an area in Spain where tradition is gaining prevalence.
Popularity.
And popularity in the area and around the world. So I've already forgot how to say this. The Kagane figurine and the old Christmas log, the Tio de Nadal.
Yeah.
It's the Christmas log.
They're unique because they share something, which is, in my opinion, an odd tradition, no matter what holiday it is.
The Kagane and the Christmas log are both symbolizing fertility, luck, prosperity, and more than anything, fertilizer. Helping to fertilize the earth for the coming year, good harvests and prosperity and all of that. Because the Kagane translates, excuse my sophomore humor here, the pooper. Stop laughing. We're trying to be serious. Serious.
I am.
It's a figurine traditionally placed in nativity scenes. So baby Jesus, the three wise men, and some guy dressed as a Spanish peasant pooping. I'm not making this up. It's been around since the 18th century. So as far as way back when traditions, it's kind of relatively new. The figurine is often depicted as a peasant wearing traditional Catalan red cap, and some more modern takes on it include famous personalities from those regions or maybe from around the world. There might be like a Donald Trump pooper or something like that. I don't know. It fits. But so anyway, so what is the log? What does the log have to do with this, right? So this basically translates to the, again, apologize in advance, the poop log. It's a hollow log with a painted face where children feed it. They feed this log in the days leading up to Christmas. On Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, depending on the tradition in your household, children beat the log with sticks while singing traditional songs, prompting it to defecate small gifts and candies.
So, okay.
Like a piñata.
So the log is like a piñata.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they just call it a piñata? and maybe they didn't have that phrase, but it just seems interesting that they have chosen to go with the word poop for their traditions. And maybe they didn't have another word. I'd get symbolizing fertility and prosperity and fertilizing the earth, especially if you were, in agriculture. That makes sense. But now, especially since apparently neither one of us are very civilized or cultured or mature, the pooper in the nativity next to baby Jesus. I can't picture it, honestly.
And again, like they have modern day, it can be celebrities or politicians or, a blend of them. So you can go to local Christmas markets during this time of the year and find different figurines, but they're usually in the same position.
Oh my gosh. So have you Googled a picture of it?
Yes.
They are actually figurines bent over pooping. I thought it was just like a person standing there that they were calling the pooper. No, it is like if they were actually bent over going number 2 on the ground.
You thought I was being colorful with it. And no.
And that's right next to baby Jesus.
And what is with the children?
Beating the log with sticks?
Well, first
there's a lot of beating things with sticks.
Involving children, too. But they first have to feed the log. They got to feed it in order for it to spill out its contents.
I don't know. I'm very curious how that tradition came about. Like, why did they start the tradition of children go put things into this log that has a face painted on it? Why the face?
Yeah.
And then in a few days, we're going to beat the tar out of this piece of wood and see what comes out of it.
Beat the tar out of this poop. Yep. And, have it do what it does. So, I mean, going back to strange Christmas traditions, I mean, how much different do you think your life would be now as people of a certain age if you were allowed to celebrate something like this?
I don't know. I assume if you grew up with this, it's normal to you.
Sure.
But an outsider seeing a picture of a figurine pooping on the ground next to a baby Jesus does seem very odd to me. I understand what they're trying to say, but why does it have to be right next to the baby?
Yeah.
That's not sanitary.
Well, traditionally, Jesus was born in a manger. So he was surrounded by animals doing
But then some
things.
dude just showed up and started doing it on the side too. Like, that's the part I don't understand.
Dang it, Terry. We invite you to this nice thing. This baby was just born, and you're over there dropping trowel, man. Well, you know what? If you stayed up all night roller skating and eating Kentucky Fried Chicken, you might just need somewhere to do what you need to do, man. And I laugh, but we have different things here. I mean, the strange one to me here in the United States is Elf on a Shelf.
Yeah.
Elf on a Shelf it's a baby.
It's fairly new.
It was created like after I was already out of high school when people started doing this.
I think it was around I
think it was around 2005. Yeah. And it was just based off of some book that this lady and her daughter wrote called Elf on a Shelf. And now people do this every year, and it's a hugely popular concept, but it involves an elf that watches, quote unquote, watches over your children during the day, reports back to Santa Claus, gives them reconnaissance reports on your children. And then, parents, if your kids are listening, move them away. Parents move the elf to different places. So it, symbolizes the elf moving around and being lifelike and things like that. And it's also to keep kids in line. Like, y'all got some bad kids out there. Right. And we always got to keep these little monsters in line. But, to me, that's strange.
It is a little strange, especially how much the parents have gotten into Elf on a Shelf.
I think it's more for the parents.
I do too, because every parent I know that has one, that is all they are posting at Christmas time of the new scenes they have set their elf up in. And do you have a job? Is there anything else going on? Because you spend a lot of time fabricating a scene for this elf to live in for one day. And then tomorrow you're going to do a whole nother one. I have things to do.
Yeah. And they get it. I mean, like you said, they come up with very elaborate scenes for elves to do. And sometimes it is stuff like that. It is them pooping out Hershey Kisses and stuff. It's weird.
That is true.
It's kind of wild, man. People love it. They're getting into it. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, your host, here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hi.
All of our past episodes, interviews, things we're decidedly more mature about on unscaledtravelshow.com. Check us out there. Subscribe to us on the podcasting after you hear us through all of our wonderful affiliates around the world. We have brand new ones in Canada, a couple in Africa, and more places. And we really love to reach all of our travel partners and listeners out there. So we're really excited. And if you're catching us for the first time, well, welcome to the show. We are talking about strange and wonderful Christmas traditions from around the world. There's so many good ones, man. I wish we could get to all of them. We have talked about different places, including different parts of Spain, Venezuela, Austria, Japan, different places, Iceland. Okay. So let's shift to Norway. Norway has a lot of traditions. Okay. They have Christmas spirits and folklore that goes back way beyond Christian times. You have, St. Nicholas, Santa Claus, is kind of born out of a little combination of Odin and and the real life St. Nicholas and people like that. And we've tried, because the United States is so full of, has a very vast immigrant foundation. Traditions were taken from Germany and Norway and all these different places to combine to what we know now and have common themes in as far as our modern day Christmas traditions.
Right.
So it's all kind of born from one way or another. Do you know why, before we get into this, why Santa Claus looks the way Santa Claus looks now?
No, I do not.
Santa Claus in modern times now is pictured in the red suit with white trim, and he's bigger and he's jolly and he's got the cheeks and all of that stuff. That actually comes from the 1930s advertising and marketing campaign from Coca-Cola.
Really?
Yeah. Coca-Cola hired an artist, and this is what he drew upon, and it kind of combined all of these things, because in older tales of St. Nicholas and all of that, he was more of a skinny fellow and tall because he was benevolent and, godlike and all of this stuff and all of the folklore. And then based on
Coca-Cola fattened him up.
And it's based on the poem, The Night Before Christmas and all of that, where the author described Santa Claus as being bigger and jolly and blah, blah, blah. And so they did. So there you go. So all of our stuff is based on marketing from Coca-Cola.
So the Santa Claus we know and love now is
there you go.
Just a figment of Coca-Cola's imagination. Good to know. They turned a polar bear into Santa Claus.
Absolutely. So, there you go. That hope to ruin all of your Christmas spirit. So in Norway, they have a tradition of hiding brooms. Yeah. Hiding brooms to thwart mischievous spirits and witches.
I like this one.
Okay.
But we like Halloween, so we like kind of the spooky spirits, and we've even dabbled in some paranormal tours. So I find this one very interesting. So I didn't know, though, that they hide the broom because, according to their folklore, witches would look for brooms to ride on to go and roam the earth on Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. And so to stop them from doing that, people would hide their brooms.
Yeah.
My first question is, do these witches not have their own brooms?
No. No. They're all borrowed.
Apparently. So they have to go to somebody's house and use their broom. But I find it fascinating that witches and evil spirits are all mixed up in what we now think of as this light and happy holiday. Yeah. But it does go back before Christian times when it was just, as you were talking about earlier, like pagan rituals and beliefs and a lot with the winter solstice. But the other thing I think that we use, or I can see the influence in American holiday traditions is that families would engage in rituals to safeguard their home, meaning they would put candles in windows. You see that a lot here. But they'd also leave food out for the roaming spirits, kind of to bribe them. We leave cookies and milk out for Santa Claus every year. I mean, I guess we're bribing him. But if your kid's on the naughty list, is a cookie really going to get him off the naughty list?
No, he's going to get put in a sack and carried off.
Or beaten with the switch.
Carried off to some unknown fate out in the woods. But yeah, I mean, you look and see how we've blended all of these things from around the world and created what we celebrate here in the United States. The lighting of candles and lights, the leaving out milk and cookies, all of that for Santa Claus. It has traditions and roots going back thousands of years. And then, things such as decorating. They did Christmas gnomes in Norway. And also a thing called glögg. Gulag. Almost kind of sounds like eggnog, right? Which was mulled wine. So people would drink and get together with your family. You light candles. You hide your broom. You leave out. So I don't think they did cookies back then, but it was probably little
treats of
some sort. And, it's not as popular as some of these other ones, but it's still like in a lot of places in Norway, rural areas and people that, should have the ties to the old ways. Right. I guess they still do a lot of this.
Well, another country that has a Christmas witch is Italy, and she's and I'm going to say this wrong, La Befania, which translates to the Christmas witch. But this one is tied to Christianity because according to legend, the three wise men invited the Christmas witch to join them to go see the baby Jesus. But she declined because she had too much housework.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently that's always been a problem for women, right?
Yeah.
But later, she regretted her decision. So now she flies on her broomstick, because she has her own, every year and delivers gifts to children in hope that she will be able to find baby Jesus and see him. So it's a nice witch who brings presents.
It's a blend of more pagan to Christian beliefs. And imagine that lineup. You got the wise men, you got baby Jesus, you got a witch who was too busy to come, and you got the guy pooping in the corner.
Oh, I've never been big on nativity sets, but I think I'm going to have to create one.
We got an idea.
We're going to have to make one
for next year's nativity set.
We need a Krampus. We need a giant cat that eats people who don't have new clothes. If you're wearing last year's Old Navy, we've got a cat for you, and he is not happy. Oh, I'm going to have to make this.
We're going to have a lot of signage explaining, because people are going to be like...
No explanation. No explanation.
Even better.
I want the questions.
Even better. I want people knocking on the door going, what?
We've heard of your nativity scene.
What is going on? What kind of acid trip happened
We're going to
here?
have people lined up down the street to drive by. Because it needs to be outside. It needs to be big.
Oh, no, I don't want people in the house looking at this. I don't want to stare at that cat all day. It's bad enough I got to stare at the one we have. But yeah, I mean, you have things like that. And also, there's, I think, a kind of wild one in the Ukraine.
This one I actually think sounds very lovely. But in the Ukraine, they do spiderweb decorations on their Christmas tree, which sounds odd, but when you hear where it comes from, it's actually a very lovely story. It's from a folklore of a very poor widow who couldn't afford to decorate her tree, and the spiders in her home took pity on her and spun beautiful webs overnight to cover her tree and made it look silver and gold when the sun hit it in the morning. I mean, how sweet is that, honestly? So spiderwebs are traditionally for us associated with Halloween and spooky times. And here it is like, oh, your tree's covered in these beautiful spider webs. You're a hard no on this one. I can see it.
No, because like all I heard was you got a house full of spiders. And to me, you know what a new tradition is? Burning that house down. Every single house that got that many spiders in it. And especially ones that talk to you and have pity on you. You're so poor, they got pity on you? No, okay. That's Cinderella.
It's Charlotte from Charlotte's Web. She's spelling out radiance.
Radiant pig. Right there. So
at least it's not the rat. What was his name?
Oh, Turpentine? I don't know what his name is. Something with a T. Turpentine? I don't know. But yeah, spider webs. If you got that going on, no, that's a hard no from me, dog. I'm out.
But I could see it translating into like the silver tinsel, those little strands of silver that people put on their trees now. So again, you can see where more American traditions have originated from these very old world customs.
And then if that doesn't get you in the Christmas spirit, head to South Africa. They have a fried caterpillars feast where you can do that sort of thing. All right. Christmas traditions from around the world. Get out there and explore. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We'll see you guys next time.